Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans. I have a horrific story out of Indianapolis, Indiana. This is a very tragic event. And when I get an update to this story, I will bring you the said information. If you need verification for the storyline, please log on to the Indy Star. Crime Stoppers of Central Indiana allows Indianapolis residents to share anonymous tips with law enforcement. 5 people and an unborn child were killed early Sunday morning in Indianapolis in what city police say was the largest mass casualty shooting in more than a decade. Kezzy Childs, 42, Raymond Childs, 42, Elijah Childs, 18, Rita Childs, 13, and Kiara Hawkins, 19, and the unborn child of Hawkins were pronounced dead after being found in a home in the 3500 block of Adams Street, according to Sergeant Shane Foley of the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. Investigators were led to the grisly crime scene around 4 a.m. after making contact with the juvenile male, whose age police didn't disclose, who was found suffering from gunshot wounds just footsteps away in the 3300 block of East 36th Street between Keystone Avenue and Sherman Drive. It is believed that the boy was wounded in the Adams Street incident. If so, he is the only recorded survivor at this time. No motive or suspect information has been released. However, IMPD Police Chief Randall Taylor said police believes the victims were targeted, one or more people. Law enforcement are looking into whether the shooters illegally obtained the guns and will also investigate who is responsible for supplying the guns, said Mayor Joe Hogsett, during a public address from IMPD's North District headquarters in the wake of the tragedy. There's a little caption underneath the cars in the said article that says Indianapolis police are still working this morning at the scene of a shooting that left multiple people dead at 3500 block of Adams Street. The mass shooting on Adams Street was one of nearly half a dozen shootings that happened across the city in a span of less than 5 hours that ended in at least 7 people hospitalized in addition to those killed. The deadly night comes weeks after Indianapolis recorded the most violent year in the city's history, which city officials attributed to the desperation that plagued already struggling communities during a deadly pandemic across the country. For a decade now, the city of Indianapolis has engaged in a community conversation as to how we should best address the deadly confluence of guns, substance abuse, and poverty that has seen our city's homicide rate rise to historic highs, said Hogsett. City officials said the Adams Street shooting is part of the violence endemic to communities across America, but also one that rises to a new level of moral depravity. What we saw this morning was a different kind of evil, Taylor said. I myself am heartbroken, he said, for the lives that have been taken too soon, for the young life that's forever been changed, and for the life that never got the chance to start, for the neighborhood left to pick up the pieces in the wake of the unprecedented violence. When asked if any policy could have prevented the mass killing, Hawks has said the city's programs aim to reduce the crimes of passion, self-defense, and desperation. Not that any crime of gun violence is acceptable under any circumstance, but when it is a crime of passion or retaliation, that is one thing, he said. It is completely different for a trigger puller, or perhaps several trigger pullers, to walk into one home and kill 6 people, and that is why we're here today. Hawks said he didn't know what motivated the suspects, but said local police have the support of federal authorities on the case. I want those to know that the full might of local, state, and federal law enforcement are coming for them as I speak, coming for them as long as it takes to find them, he said. Sharday Hoskins, a member of the police department's violence reduction team, said people in the Adams Street neighborhood woke up scared and are tired of the violence in their streets. To reduce violence, she said, the city not only has to change the way people handle conflict, but also fix the systematic issues of poverty that drive much of the crimes. Okay, that is the said information by Indy Star. So right now, the casualty rate is at 6. There's one child who was found at another location with gunshot wounds. And this was at 4 a.m. The investigators made contact with a juvenile male whose age they will not disclose. He was found suffering from gunshot wounds just footsteps away in the 3300 block of East 36th Street between Keystone Avenue and Sherman Drive. So what we have to ask ourselves, this location where he was found on East 36th Street, a young juvenile, how far is it from the 3500 block of Adams Street? Because this is 3300 East 36th Street, and where the mass shooting took place was 3500 Adams Street. So possibly not too far. What happened at this house? What happened with all these people shot? And I'm going to call their names out because they deserve to have their names mentioned. Someone may have information pertaining to why someone shot all these people and also wounded a child who obviously got away. Perhaps he was running out the door. He was able to get out of there. Did he walk in on these people shooting or persons shooting everyone in the home? Was he already in the home when the shooting took place? This is a crazy story out of Indianapolis. The deceased are Kezzie Childs, 42. Raymond Childs, 42. Elijah Childs, 18. Rita Childs, 13. And Kiara Hawkins, 19. And an unborn child of Miss Kiara Hawkins were pronounced dead after being found in the home, 3500 block of Adams Street. I don't know what the hell happened at this house. I don't know who was the target. I'm assuming that there were more than one shooter because the officer or the person who was speaking in this article was stating something about law enforcement are looking into whether the shooters illegally obtained the guns and also investigate who was responsible for supplying the guns. So, obviously they think more than one person did the shooting. So we're talking about multiple shooters perhaps, allegedly. Why were they there? Why did they go to that home to kill all those people? What did somebody in that house do to them, him, her, whomever, to feel like they had to go up in that house and kill all those people? Did they know? Did the people in the home know the suspect or suspects? Did they invite them in? Was it a gathering? Somebody get mad? Decided to shoot everybody in the damn room? Did somebody owe somebody money? These are the variables because you never know with situations like this. And I hate to think the worst case scenario because many people will think the worst due to the fact this is assumption of what? African American people. What was it? Drug related? I do not know. This article does not specify that. But nonetheless, it is a horrific scene no matter what the reasoning is. But somebody had some type of vendetta against whomever was in that house. And you're talking about 42-year-old adults. (19-year-old child going into adulthood. 2 42-year-olds, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old and a 13-year-old girl. 2 females, 13 and 19. Elijah, he's 18. Then there's the unborn child of the 19-year-old girl. And then the other underage child that was found at another location. And they have not revealed that person's age. But that child is underage that got away. So, was that a boy or a girl? Because it does not state. It just says yes, it does. I'm sorry. It says a juvenile male who police didn't disclose. So, you are talking, I mean, just repeating it is baffling. 2 42-year-old adults, an 18-year-old male, 13-year-old female, 19-year-old female with the unborn child, and then another underage child found at another location alive by the grace of God. What in the hell happened here? Who, what, why? Who did this? Why did they do this? You have killed an entire family for what reason? And if you had some type of beef, legitimate or not, with one of the people in the house, you didn't have to kill everybody in the damn house. You killed kids, young kids. The 13-year-old, that's a child. The 18-year-old just going into adulthood. The 19-year-old sister, she's going into adulthood. She also was pregnant. And then you shot another kid who they won't even disclose the age of a male child. What the hell is wrong with you people? What was so bad that you had to go into this house and shoot and kill every damn body in the house? Was it a robbery? Somebody owed you money? Somebody said something out of the way to you? And they're stating the city has an uptick of crime, and this is the topper. Have mercy. In the first month of a new year, to have 6 people lie dead in one house and one out in the street, also affiliated with the said house. It can't get no worse. And we are supposed to have some type of hope for a better life and a better world. New year, new president and vice president elect. And this is what you have. The start of a new month into a new year. 6 people dead. 1 injured. And by the grace of God alive. Another child. Now who's going to take care of this child? Because the parents have been murdered. Prayers for Indianapolis. Prayers for the city, the citizens, the mayor, the police, because you have a job on your hands now. And basically the mayor is making a statement. They're going to find who had the guns, if they were illegally sold, where they got them from. I guess they're going to go and ring them up high, as they should, because this is a travesty that somebody, plural, walked into a home and gunned down 6 damn people. And you can't give us a logical reason why you went in that house and killed all them damn folks. There will be no reason you can give. And there'll be no reason you can give when you're apprehended and you stand before 12 members of a jury. Because ain't nobody going to want to hear your reasoning. And you have wasted 6 lives, plus injured a child. And then you're going to forfeit your own life. Because they're not going to let you out that hole. So what was the swap? Because it sure as hell wasn't even. Condolences to this family. And now, once again, somebody has to now come up with money to bury all these people. Hold services for all these people. See, people don't think about that. The finality of it all. You snuffed out these folks for whatever damn reason. And now somebody's got to pick up the slack and try to bury these people. And also find a home for the child you shot up. Possibly an eyewitness left behind. And we also got to pray for his safety as well. Because we don't know what he saw. And have mercy on what he saw. And have mercy that no one will try to come back and harm him. Because now they will know one was left alive. I will bring you an update to this horrific story out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Prayers for everyone involved and those who died, those who will come up and step up and render aid and financial assistance to bury these people, whomever takes in this other child who was left behind. And for the city of Indianapolis, that they will try to get a hold on what the hell is going on in their city and all the violence. Because right now, that's all we hear in America. It's just outrageous, chaos, brutal, heartless people. It's got to stop. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. This is Everyday Shenanigans.